Hey guys, Jason here from maxamps.com again. We are going to show you how to run your brand new 0606i AC/DC Hyperion balance charger today. First thing you're going to do when you open up the box, pull out the manual. I suggest you read this a couple of times. Make sure you're familiar with everything. If you have to, you can walk through the buttons on the control or on the charger on the face of it. Get a good understanding of it before you attempt to charge a battery. To start out with, you're going to notice you've got a set of charge leads. You'll notice that these charge leads do not have a battery connector on them. You must supply that yourself. Either a Traxxas connector, Dean's, Anderson power poles, whatever you use, you need to put that on there. If you do order this charger with one of our RTR kits for a Traxxas vehicle, it will come with the Traxxas connector already on this set of leads. We will do that for you. If you order the RTR kit but do not want the Traxxas connector, call in your order. We can put a Dean's on here for you. We can put Anderson power poles on here. It's not a problem. Just call the shop. We'll do it for you. Okay. Next thing you're going to notice, you pull the charger itself out. You've got the Hyperion adapter balance board that comes with the unit. There are 3 other boards available, one for Kokum taps, one for Thunder Power taps, and one for the Align taps. With all 4 boards, you can basically balance charge any battery out there. That unit plugs right into the side of the charger. Real simple. You'll notice on the other side of the charger you've got your DC power support or power source leads. These can connect to a deep cycle marine battery or a DC power supply. And the other thing you'll notice in the box under the little flap is the AC power cord. Plugs into the side right there. Okay, get that out of the way. Take the charger. Go over a few things here real quick. As I said, you can power this off of a DC power supply if needed. I've got one sitting here. We're not going to use that today. Instead, I've got a cord already plugged into the wall here, and we're just going to plug that into the side of the charger. It only goes in one direction. Charger will power itself up. First thing you need to do is select the battery type. We are going to charge a 3-cell 1550 max amps LiPo pack. So press battery type button and it'll cycle through. You'll get NiCad charge, nickel metal hydride charge, LiPo charge. That's what we want. Hit enter. It'll start flashing the capacity. We already have it at 1550, but if you needed to change it, just get that flashing again by hitting enter and use the up and down arrows, and that'll change the capacity numbers. We're going to go back down to 1550, hit enter, cell count will start flashing. It's right here. Now, if you need to change that, you can go up or down, 5-cell, 4-cell, 3-cell, 2-cell. We'll go back to 3-cell, hit enter. We're now set up to charge a 3-cell 1550 LiPo. Next, take a set of charge leads, and I've already got a set sitting here ready to go. It's a set I made. Dean's connector, which is what I use on everything, and 4mm bullet plugs, which come on the leads already. Plug your positive into positive, negative into negative. Plug in your main battery connector first. Then take and plug in your 3-cell balance tap into the 3-cell balance tap port. We've got an error. Battery balancer voltage is too low. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. This will happen if you have a cell that is too low compared to the rest. Usually they have to be a 1/2 volt or more out of sync with the other ones. As you can see, as this is flashing and beeping at us here, we've got cell 1 at 2.27, cell 2 at 396, cell 3 at 395. Cell number 1 is our bad boy. That's the one that we need to fix. So what we're going to do is disconnect this, hit enter. We're going to pull the charger aside here real quick. We're going to grab our voltmeter. I suggest if you have a lot of electronic or a lot of electric RC equipment, get a voltmeter. These generally $25 will pick one of these up. What we're going to do is take and do a cell test. Now what you do is grab the balance tap, take the red wire, which is the first wire in a Hyperion plug, and then you got 3 black wires. Go to the red wire and the first black wire, showing a voltage of 3.94. Okay, now move each probe over one position, 3.95. And then go over one position again. You'll notice there's a gap between the last 2 black wires on this plug. Hyperion's put a space there. You go over, read off the last 2, 3.95. Okay, we're going to try plugging back into this charger here again because my reading is coming up correct, but we're not showing on the charger correct. So we're going to plug back into the Hyperion 3-cell board. We're going to hit enter. Balance connected. Battery check. And charging. Okay, a good example of what just happened there was bad connection, reconnected, everything checked out fine. We went through the cell test with the voltmeter and everything showed up fine. A dirty connection can cause a simple error like that. The pack is now charging fine, no issues. Now, if we were not able to get the charger, I'm going to actually shut this off here for a minute by pressing enter. If we were actually not able to get this to start charging because of the error that it was showing, the voltmeter would have shown us again which was the low cell. Simply then would have had to just take the 2 wires for that cell. When you search through and find that cell, push the pin tabs in on the back sides, pull those 2 wires out of the plug, make yourself a set of charge leads instead without the battery plug on there. Make it with gator plugs on, or gator connectors. Those alligator clips can then be clipped onto those 2 wires, and what you can do is if that cell was low, charge that cell individually with the charger. Set it to 1 cell at 1 amp, charge it back up so that it's exact same voltage as those other 2 cells. When you get there, shut the charger off, plug the wires back into the balance tap, rehook everything up. If you get a clean go-ahead, charge and balance that pack back up. You're good to go. The biggest thing we run into with the Hyperion 0606i AC/DC charger is because what happens is a lot of chargers used to charge through the balance taps and that was it. Hyperion's chargers charge through the main leads and balance through the balance taps. You have to have both of these connected to the battery in order to charge the pack. We get a lot of people that say, hey, I got a brand new battery from you guys, I got the Hyperion charger, the pack will not charge, what's going on? Well, generally what happens is that we find out they're not plugging one or the other in. Another thing that can happen with these plugs, either on the battery side or the charger side, Dean's connectors, when soldered on, occasionally flux will seep from the backside into the inside of the plug. That flux will foul the connection up. It's almost like a waxy film that gets in there. You need to scrape that out with either a thin screwdriver or, better yet, a thin wire brush with some rubbing alcohol. Clean that connector out real good. Even electrical contact cleaner, you can spray it in there. It'll eat all that stuff out of there. On the male ends of the Dean's plugs, what will happen is the spring will actually lose its arc. It'll go flat. You'll get an intermittent connection when you plug the 2 together. You'll notice that sometimes if you pull them apart, all of a sudden you'll get connection, but if you push them tight, you'll lose it. A lot of times the connector's either dirty, needs to be cleaned, or that spring actually needs to be rebent a little bit to put that arc back into it. We are available from 5 a.m. till 5 p.m. on our online support. There's a chat room there. You can click on there. You'll usually get me during the day. The other guys will hop on in the afternoon. If you have questions, just ask. We'll walk you through it. If worse comes to worse, we can make a phone call and talk to you that way. You can get me directly by email also at jason@maxamps.com. I check my email on the average about every 10 to 15 minutes, so I usually get back to people really quick. This is a great charging unit for those of you that are into the RC cars. Easy to use, very compact, very well made. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you and take care.